What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is the final video of my NextJS crash course series. If you haven't watched any of the videos up to now and you'd like to do so, click on the playlist link in the description. In this video, we are going to be taking our NextJS social dashboard and deploying it for free onto Vercel, so it can be accessible anywhere to anyone on the internet. And then also we are going to look at how you can hook that up to a custom domain name using Namecheap. So let's get started. So this is the code that we're going to be uploading, and you want to make sure that it is hosted on your GitHub somewhere, so in a repository. And that's very important because we'll be connecting that specific repository to Vercel. So once you have your code in GitHub, I'm going to be using my Next.js social dashboard. We can go to vercel.com. And if you don't have an account, go through the process and make one. It's completely free. But if you do have an account, you'll be taken to the dashboard. Now from here, we can simply import project. And then if you have a repository like I do, we're going to want to click continue on import repository. Now let me go ahead and copy this URL and paste it in here. We'll continue. Okay, so it couldn't find this Git repository, so I'm going to have to go into my settings and give it permission to access it. Okay, so right here I'm in my settings, and right now I'm only allowing Vercel to have access to one repository. So I need to select the repository I want. So let me search. There we go. We'll click that and we'll click save. Okay, now let me go back here and try to find it again. And it should pick it up this time. Okay, there we go. So it automatically detects the framework. I'm using Next.js. Okay, so here are some build and output settings. I'm not going to override those, just keep them as defaults. And this is the important part, the environment variables. So as you recall, we had 3 environment variables for our project: GitHub, YouTube, and Strava. So if you don't add them here, you will not be able to fetch any data. So what you're going to want to do is use the same variable name. So for example, if I go here in my .env, I have 3 of them. So I would copy each one of these 3, paste them into here, and then in this area, put your API key, and then hit add. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so once that is done, we can go ahead and hit deploy. And this will deploy your app. As you can see over here, it will show you exactly what it is doing. So I'm just going to let this run, and I will be back when it's finished. Alright guys, there we go. So after that deploys, you're brought to this screen. Like so. First, I'm going to go visit that. Okay, there we go. And I want to make one quick note. The data for these is incorrect, and that's because I deleted all of my API keys. But for you guys, if you use your own API key and add it how I showed you, it should be correct, up-to-date data that is being fetched real time. So anyways, this is what it looks like, and you'll notice a couple of things. One, it's deployed on this URL, so we want to change that. And then secondly, let's go ahead and open our dashboard. So this is what the dashboard looks like for your project. So over here is the overview. And then you can go and you can look at all of your deployments. So right now we only have one deployment, but as you make updates to your app and deploy those, they will be here. And then lastly, we have settings. So you have a bunch of different settings in here: general, domains, Git integration, environment variables, all this stuff. So a couple things to point out in here. Environment variables. If you want to add more variables, this is where you do it. You come here, put your variable name, the value, and add it. And then you can also add 3 different types. So we have production variables, preview, and development variables. So you can look into that, see how you can use those. But for me personally, I just use production. And then here is Git integration. So this is how we integrated our GitHub to Vercel. So here you can look at that You can change the name if you need to, save that. You can change what branch you are on, and some other stuff. So what I want to look at now is the domains. So right now, as you can see, we only have one domain for our app. But if we come up here, we can add another domain quite easily. So first we need to get a domain. So for me, I use Namecheap. So I'm going to open that up in a new tab. And let me just log in. Okay, so here, this is a list of all of my domains. So I'm just going to grab this domain here. So benjamincarlson.tech. And to connect this to Vercel, the first thing we want to do is copy it and paste it right here. Okay, and when you copy, make sure there's no space at the end. So we'll add that. Okay, there we go. So it's added, but it's an invalid configuration. So what we need to do is we can either add an A record or name servers. So you can do it either way. I'm going to go the name servers route. So I'm going to copy this. And as you can see, we have the current ones, which are these. So we want to replace these with this. So we're going to add these name servers. So go to your domain, and right here, we want to change this to custom DNS. And this allows us to add 2 name servers. So we'll paste that there, and paste that there. So now we have both of these. We'll click Save. And when this refreshes, there we go. So it says it may take up to 48 hours to take effect, but in my experience, it only takes around 5 minutes or so, sometimes less. So I'll come back when this is a valid configuration. Alright guys, so that took a little bit longer than expected. I'd say that took around 25-30 minutes, but as you can see, the domain has a valid configuration, and if we visit it, it is the same as the other domain. So what we can do, if you only want to use one domain, we can go here, we can say edit, we can redirect that to our main domain. Save that. Now when we visit this, it goes to benjamincarlson.tech. So that's really all there is to it, guys. So like I said, this was the last video of my NextJS crash course. If you missed any of the videos or you want to watch any of them, the link for those is down in the description. If you enjoyed this video or this series, please give this a like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this.